Welcome to Haunted Horizons GhostCast with Alison Oborn, Craig Cameron and Cag Allwood from Haunted Horizons. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, professionalism at its best.
Yes.
Episode 3 of the Haunted Horizons GhostCast. So, still finding our feet, as you can tell. So, for those who are just about to join us, yes, we got rid of Craig. We replaced Craig with this much better version, which is Ben Hansen.
Craig plus 2.
Craig plus 2, yes.
I'll never watch this.
Oh, he will, we'll make sure.
He will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jody. Hi, Jody.
Live from Humbug Scrub. That's where
That's where we're at. Yeah.
For all my friends in America, that is the name of this place, Humbug Scrub. And my friend Allison here, who lives in this countryside, very beautiful abode. She once fell down a cliff and fell into the scrub. And the news report said, a woman today fell in the scrub, Humbug Scrub. And then it's got like the helicopter like airlifting her out. And I couldn't stop laughing. Once I knew she was okay.
You just had to bring that one up, didn't you? Yeah. It's never been forgotten. So
I hope you recorded that. And you've got footage of your rescue.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
In fact, with plenty of footage. Some of it went up.
A lot of people are saying welcome, Ben. I hope you have a good.
Oh, welcome. Okay, so I'm broadcasting live now, if I've done this correctly, to my website as well. So
yeah, you started a party watch. Yeah, that's all good.
Excellent.
Now, is this people watching yours or watching mine watching yours? This is yours.
Is this?
This would be like total people watching everyone.
That's mine. So they're watching our broadcast.
Yes,
so
on my page.
So they're watching it live now on your page. So,
okay.
So we've got to now look all professional because it's your page. See, before that we didn't have to, but now we've gone there. We've just got to look more professional.
I've got to get better at all this stuff.
So have we. So, if you're watching this from America on Ben's page, all right, this is not the polished version. This is just us going up live so we can interact with you guys. You can all ask questions and you can talk to Ben. And
we just decided within the last couple minutes to do this, and that's why we're having cheese and crackers. So if you'll forgive me.
Ben's going to be eating the whole way.
It is, what time is it? It is, this American time.
6:45.
6:45. So one thing is interesting about South Australia, I don't know if it's the whole state, but here in Adelaide, they are 1/2 hour different than the rest of the time zones. So Sydney is like 8:45, 8:15? No, 8:45. It's 6:45 now. Yeah. So no, 7:15.
Yeah, 7:15.
Okay, so 7:15, and so most normal states are like, okay, we're in another time zone, it's got to be a whole hour different. Adelaide's like, no, we just want to be a 1/2 hour different.
Yeah. We're a rebel.
So,
we're rebels.
It's really hard to tell time around here.
Yeah.
So Rosemary just said, can you keep talking, Ben, because she misses that accent.
Oh, have I met her? Wait, who says this?
That's Rosemary.
Rosemary. The one that keeps doing the countdown.
Ben's going to do the talking for a minute.
And Mel wants to know if you got any Tim Tams yet.
No, we have not had our Tim Tam fix. I haven't had my meat pie that I look forward to. Haven't had my... What else do I always eat when I come here? The Tim Tams are a must, and we take some of those back with us every time. A lot of the chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
We got to have that. And I saw it today at the grocery store, Wheat Bix. I was like, no, we don't need that. When I was at uni at Griffith, like that was like the poor man's breakfast.
Oh, really?
And I would just buy bricks of that, and then I'd buy sugar and just dump it on it to make it taste good. Oh. And it was like eating cardboard.
I can't stand. You love it.
I love wheat. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah,
just
she has it.
You see, in the UK, you call it Weetabix. We put an extra A in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Weetabix.
Yeah. It didn't make it taste any better though.
Oh, I have them with no sugar. And she just said, we're the normal state, all the others are wrong.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. Exactly, see?
So let's add some people here on mine. Vicky says, just watched Ghost of Morgan City last episode, and Sean Rapier. And he's on mine, and
he's on
over
yours.
here we have...
I've got the Haunted Horizons one on here.
Shane.
Oh yeah. Karen said,
Norm?
have you had a green frog cake? That's
Like real green frogs?
no, it's a cake that looks like a green frog. We'll have to.
Oh no, I
Just
can't
sort
say
you out
that
with one
I've
of
had
those,
that.
Oh, fruit chocks as well. Jodie was saying fruit chocks. We'll have to get you all sorted out with those as well. We'll have to go
I
shopping.
can't remember if I've had those.
All this Australian stuff. That's South
I know,
Australian.
and I lived here for like a year.
Fritz is another South Australian thing.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is Born Fritz.
I love going to those little country club, restaurants and just having a good, steak and potatoes and all that stuff. So, is this recording too? That's not. I just moved that.
They're obviously hearing, so.
So, everybody, we are really excited, and if you missed out on the investigations, we're absolutely sold out for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's only a couple left for Sunday. So, if you're in town, if you're around, we would love to have you come by, and it's kind of a meet and greet, and then we've got 3 speakers. 3, right?
We have, yes.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be really cool because are we back at the university?
The Z board.
In the Z board. Oh,
Where I believe
yes.
you should remember Z board with sardines, I believe.
We have had many a fun
Fun
time
night.
in Z board. For Americans, we call that Z. The Z is Z. It's an insane asylum. And, or was it just tuberculosis?
No, it was
What was
for the
insane?
criminally insane. So
Criminally insane. So one thing that we like to do there, which I introduced the last time I was here, it's like reverse hide and seek. Okay, so what you do is instead of somebody going to hide and then you go find them, everybody hides. And then one person tries to go find everyone. No. The first person hides, that's right. And then everyone goes to try to find that one person. And when you find them, you have to hide in the same spot they are. So let's say I go hide in a closet, then someone comes and finds me, they have to be really quiet about it, and they come in the closet with me. And then another person comes in until until everybody's in the closet except for the last person, and the last person is it. Then they have to be the person to hide the next time. And so what's scary is when you're in an insane asylum and you're that first person or the seeker.
Yeah, the last one.
The last
yeah.
one.
Yeah, you're looking around everywhere, and that place is like so active that it's a really fun game to play and to have your own experiences, and then we investigate after because we stirred it up with activity. So, let's see here. Maybe answer some questions. Someone's telling a story. They got there in 2000, got to celebrate New Year's with fireworks in. It was really cold. Oh, it was cool to know you were one of the first to have a New Year and got to watch. Okay, that's interesting. Thanks, Stacy. It is cool because the dateline. Yeah, it's like you lose a whole day. Like my day of November 9th or 20th is gone.
Yeah, you lost a day, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't even
Totally
remember
lost
it. It's just gone.
Yeah. Straightforward. But at least he's going to gain a day.
Yes, I get to live a day twice.
Yeah, because you only arrive a few hours after you leave.
That's
going
true.
Back, so. Yeah.
But it's not like you can make a major mistake in life and be like, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have gambled that money or whatever, and you get to like take it back. No, it still happened.
So, yeah.
So you don't get a freebie.
Plus, in the States, they can question us in the future because we're their future. And we can tell them
We
what's happening
could.
that
I can tell you that Thursday is a good day. Nothing terrible happens. It'll be good for you.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, unless I know you personally and something really bad happens to you. But as far as world news, it's a good day. It's very, very hot here. It's 104. I got that backwards. 104 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like 43 today, 44 Celsius.
Yeah.
So we're in extreme fire danger, just like California, where I was leaving fires and coming to fires. So let's get a check-in. Who's coming? Who's coming this weekend? Well, I have a cracker.
Well,
Yeah,
we've got lots of
quite
people telling you what you should eat and what you should have a go at. So we've got, that's where people have took out Charles with nuts. Hague's, or actually gave you some Hague's chocolates for
I think
Kelly last time.
I think we
didn't
Oh, yeah.
home some chocolates for Kelly.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think you saw him.
Mel says she's so excited to investigate and see the talks. A lot of people saying how much they love Zed Ward.
Yes, Edward. And we're going back to, is Salem on Saturday?
Yes, we're going back to Salem. You had an experience in Salem Town.
I've had a lot of experiences at Salem Town. It's a pioneer village where a nice old man, I think I've met him.
Yeah, Peter. Yeah.
Yeah, Peter. He's put together these like 100-year-old plus pioneer homes, and he's transported them to this village. So they got like homes that never were together, but they've learned to live, and the spirits that came with them get along somehow. They're like, I don't recognize you, but so it's like this pioneer town that's been created, and it's very, very active. And we had everything from like footsteps of something stalking us, walking around this little cottage, to I swear we had the mannequin didn't move, but something slammed down in the emporium. Were you in there with me?
No, I was the footsteps in the cottage.
Yeah, but the emporium was intense. Like something, meters were going off, and then something slammed. So Salem is probably one of my very favorite places, and if you guys are lucky enough to go there with us, I'm not sure how good cell phone reception is there, but sometimes I do live broadcasts if I had my military night vision. But we'll try something else. We'll figure it out.
Shane says he's coming to the jail tomorrow night.
Nice.
Jodie is doing every single event.
Nice, Jodie.
Going
All out.
Mel is going to the jail, the National Rail Museum, and the talks.
Oh, cool.
Rosemary has to go. Oh, you have to go to Melba's with the chocolate factory, by the way.
Yeah.
Sonia's going to the jail, the NRM, and the talk.
Got a lot of people
Lots
sitting.
see you at the NRM and Zedboard talk.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, while you've got Ben here, have you got any questions for him?
Yes, I have here.
You have?
I've got a question here. So Barbara is saying they've been watching the show. How excited were you to catch the nurse on camera?
If you watch carefully, like they started filming. I'm going to talk about this on Sunday more and play kind of like my recap. I literally had watery eyes. I don't call them tears because it wasn't like it's so beautiful, but the adrenaline was like going so strong that my eyes were watering. And when I was calling the producers, like, you gotta get over here, like my heart was coming out of my throat. Since then, we've done a lot of research into the backstory of who could have been in the house, how the cameras were set up. We still can't figure it out. So I still, it's not a closed case. We very well could have captured an apparition, and it was amazing to be part of it. So yeah, it was the most excited I've ever been about any footage that I've captured, for hands down.
Well, I don't think I've ever heard Ben swear, but I think he blipped. Didn't
Was
he
it you?
blipped out?
No,
was
I
it
didn't
you or
bleep
was it
me
the
out.
other ones?
I actually heard, because I said to Kelly, because knowing you, and you do not swear.
Yeah.
And I was like, did he swear? She's no. Well, because somebody came in and
Yeah,
and I went, well,
the producers, I think, when they came in, said something.
Okay.
and I was
Yeah.
like, that can't have been. But just to see your reaction.
Well, you probably go, holy freak, and that's kind of funny. But
Yeah.
sometimes
And
a
they
show
don't
will
swear.
take freak and they'll bleep it out for the effect. But these producers, the shows I've been on, they don't.
No, you don't.
Yeah, if I didn't say it, I didn't say it. Not there's anything wrong with if that's your colorful language, but I get a lot of compliments from like families and stuff that are like, we can watch your show and I don't have to have things bleeped out, and so I just say that when I'm really mad.
But no, to see your reaction on that one, I was just like, oh my gosh, that is really cool. Because knowing you, it's like that was.
And that's the thing, when people know me, they know like, yeah, he's not like that unless it's definitely for real. And the coolest thing is, we would have never have captured it if I had not decided to go eat, and when I finished eating, to go back to the RV to review the footage, right? Because I hardly do that and then like walk away from the crew. But we had a good I don't know, 20 minutes of EVPs. I wasn't able to hear because we're going right back to filming. So that's why I went in there alone, and I just happened to glance up because I saw a bit of motion on the camera. So it was just fortuitous that, you know, I happened to be in there because, to be honest, the production and stuff, they're not going to review every single minute of the whole night. They don't have time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I just happened to catch it, so
Right.
yeah.
Now, can I just interrupt?
Thank
Can
you,
somebody
Lisa.
tell me, because you're listening on your end, if you can hear a low rumble and if it's annoying? That's all. We've got the air conditioning on.
It's the sound
It's
of the
been
train.
a very, very hot day, and if we didn't have the air conditioning on, we'd be.
What does Shane say? I'm tradie. I need language to make things.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
needs to swear to make sure.
What is
it's
it? What is
into
a tradie?
As a tradesman, so it's like it's
Oh, okay.
like plumbers and builders and that sort
You
of
got to be
thing.
careful with your guys' abbreviations, right? Because I was told if you say you're a pro, that's short for prostitute, isn't it?
No.
Did someone lie to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
They told me like, yeah, she's a pro, and that means they're a prostitute.
No, pro means professional.
So people are just like making stuff up.
They obviously saw you coming.
I suppose it depends if you're in that area at the time. Then the
In the 1800s, like,
Oh, yeah,
why would they
that's
tell
true.
me that this is true now?
Well,
Okay,
maybe it depends where you are.
forget
What
it.
in
I don't
Australia?
know. This was in
California?
Queensland. Yeah, they're like,
Oh, maybe they are in Queensland.
Well, every state's very different.
Yeah.
It's a country full of different countries.
I know, but
You know what I mean?
I just thought it was a known thing here. Okay, learn something
Now,
new.
Kerry wants to know, ghost or UFOs, which fascinates you more?
Both for different things. I mean, usually the ghost investigations are more active, meaning you can go somewhere and expect that something might happen then. UFOs, you can go a lifetime and never actually have your own experience. But I've had 3. So it's hard to say because, like, I've always believed in life after death and life in other worlds. So the experiences are different intensities for different reasons, though. It's a little bit more eerie to me to have a silent object fly over your head when you're by yourself and not know who's flying it. It has bigger questions for me.
Yeah.
But then it is also kind of scary when objects are flying across the room.
Yeah.
And you're like, what does this entity or thing want? You know, what are they
Yeah.
trying to do? And so, I don't know.
I think the thought of UFOs and life out there frightens me a lot more than ghosts.
Yeah. See, for
Yeah.
me it's ghosts because, you just don't know what you're dealing with half the time. You
Yeah.
think with the UFO it'll just slide on past.
Well, you'd think, but see, you live here out in the country. I know some pretty,
picking ground.
exactly, some cases that are pretty famous with people
Yeah.
who've had things, and I wouldn't say that it was malicious. Like, their viewpoint of it now is more like, it didn't seem like they were probing for experiments or doing anything like that, but it was very scary to them
Yeah.
because the closeness of the contact and what they remember of it. So
Maybe she's just not remembering the contact. Maybe that's probably why you're the way that you are.
you're telling her she's a abductee. Maybe you don't remember what's happened to you.
Exactly. Maybe.
Any special powers you have?
That's why she can't use the
I
legs when
hide-
she goes
I
out
hide them.
walking.
I don't want the public to know. Sandy just said, sorry to be rude, but what do you do, Ben?
What do I do? You mean
So
like,
to all
like
the
who am I?
viewers, all the
Oh,
viewers who've
yeah,
just come
okay,
in,
gotcha.
all right, who don't know much about you
Sure.
and what you do.
I'm a guy who lives down the street here. They invite me to come in and eat cheese and crackers.
Every now and again.
And, primarily, what do I do? Well, for the last, 10 years or so, I've been taking some of my hobbies to TV. So I hosted a show on Sci-Fi Channel, which I believe was called Universal, or is Universal here in Australia. It was on Foxtel also, but it was
on
like
Foxtel.
Universal Channel or something.
Right.
Anyway, so Sci-Fi had a show called Fact or Fake Paranormal Files, and it was 3 seasons, and we looked at videos and photo that people claim they captured something paranormal. So that was a really fun show, but we did everything from UFOs to Bigfoot to we came here for Australia for a mermaid. So that was really cool. And now I host a show on Travel Channel, which is probably on your... They don't call it travel on your Foxtel, do they?
It's, yeah, no.
I can't remember which one it's on now, because we've got quite a few.
Yeah.
If Hubby's listening, can you tell me which channel it's on?
But anyways...
It's on Foxtel. So,
it's on Foxtel,
yeah.
and it's called Ghosts of Morgan City. So that one is strictly paranormal, and we work with the local police departments in Louisiana.
TLC.
Past season.
It's on TLC.
TLC, which we have in the States, but it's all owned by Discovery Channel. So we worked with the police departments, and people would get calls in the States, 911 when you dial emergency, and they literally were calling police departments because they have weird stuff going on in their house, and the police don't know what to do with it. So we worked alongside this small community in Louisiana, and would go and try to help the people. So that's basically what I do.
There you go.
Sure.
With Fact and Fact, it's always intrigued me because you were looking at other people's videos that go up online that say it's either a ghost or UFO. Percentage-wise of the ones you looked at, how many would you say you just couldn't get an answer to? Because there's so many ways of faking.
Well, I'd say
was there anything
probably...
that stood out that...
When we first began, we had more that were ended in unknown.
Okay.
And then I think we kind of got better at our jobs.
Yeah.
And we started finding in season 2 and 3 like more hoaxers.
Yeah.
But, I would say probably about half and half.
Yeah.
If not, just a little bit less where we couldn't figure out what was going on. So, yeah. In like your everyday life, though, you don't usually have those resources where you can come in and it's like, hey, let's do this experiment that costs all this money. And so you may not be able to go as far.
Yeah.
If you have a paranormal group, you look at the video. What was that?
It's a ghost.
That was weird.
It's agreeing with you.
It said yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It was really odd. Yeah, so you have, like, let's say a family and tells you, I've got this happening in my house. If you believe the family and you check out their video or whatever, you try and replicate the video a little bit, but that's about all you can do.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, who knows?
Okay, so people are saying how much they loved it, and is there any chance of it coming back? Back to that.
I can't reveal that.
Okay.
We can say that it all comes down to ratings. That's how networks operate, and I think it did fairly well for them. So if there are any announcements to come forward, I'm guessing it'll probably be in the next couple of months. They've got to work stuff out, and then the network will make the announcement, then we can talk about it. I can tell you nothing is finalized. So we would love it to come back. Whether we go back to Louisiana or somewhere else, we absolutely love working with the nicest people there. Had some really cool experiences. There's also, I guess I can say, some things in the work for me to do maybe some other stuff. So there's a good chance I'll be back on TV pretty soon. That's, I guess, all I can say.
Cool.
A contentious one.
Uh-oh.
What's your views on mediums on investigations?
Contentious with some smiley faces. Well, I can tell you this much. I don't have any of those gifts. I have no psychic abilities, no mediumship abilities, and so I've always had a very open mind. So the quick story is, Sarah, who is a psychic medium on our show, I met her on a cruise. She was speaking like I was on this cruise, and she offered to give me a reading. Believe it or not, I've never had one. She was so spot on that... What is it? Is that your obelisk?
It's a mysterious voice.
It is. It's a mysterious voice coming from the kitchen. It's all
Keep
good.
saying yes, ma'am,
Yes,
every so
ma'am.
often.
Yeah.
It's like just is that what she plays to feel validated in the house?
Yeah.
She's got
She just says, yes, ma'am.
some random yes, ma'am.
Yes,
It's like,
ma'am.
okay,
There's
I
a
am
story
right
behind
again.
that. We'll tell you that later.
She's like, I am right as usual. So, where was I? Just gonna have a cracker.
Yeah.
Mediums.
Yes, you had the reading. She was right, and she was all right. She was good.
So, when we got to putting together the show, and they had called for our assistance, and we were trying to decide, okay, well, I'm going in there, Jeremy's going in there. I recommended Sarah, and it really worked out for our team because she has a really true gift. And Sarah, if you're watching this, you know, miss you and Jeremy, and hope to see you soon. But she has a different perspective, skill, and what she brings to the team. Whereas I am probably a little more skeptical than my two teammates. I don't deal in the helping people thing very well. Not that I don't want people to be helped, I just don't have those skills. So I'm better maybe at finding the problems. And Sarah, a magnitude 6.3 earthquake in Russia. Thank you. Yeah, told me that.
The joys of mobile phones.
Yeah, seriously, okay. No earthquake here. I hope they're okay. If anyone's listening in Russia. So, anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that people have different skills and different gifts. And when someone has a legitimate one, we have used her a lot in the series Ghost of Morgan City because she's able to, even before we get to location, describe to us what she's getting, what the house looks like, who she thinks might be involved, and she has had so many hits that has been very beneficial to us. And then to help the family afterwards. Or I'm like, cool evidence we caught. Okay, see ya. And she's like, no, you know, like we should honor the family, the spirit. We should do something to, you know, make it better as we leave. So that's what I think she does very well.
Good, yeah. I think that'll make Rosemary happy. I know what she asked.
Is that what she asked? Was it a trick question? She was trying to like set me up. Like,
No,
I
all
hate
good.
psychics.
No.
Psychics are always in the way.
No, that's a good answer. Excellent. A lot of people wanting to know what's your most interesting or frightening experience that you've had.
Ever? Well,
He can't talk about
say
it.
something, I can get in trouble. My wife's in the next room. Marriage was scary for me until I got married.
Well, maybe should we talk about the paranormal? Let's talk about other UFOs or paranormal, shall we?
Love you, honey.
It's all right, Kelly. It's all good.
Oh, that's her breaking the door down to get it, you know.
Yeah.
What was that? What is going on in your house? Who's banging on your door now?
I think that's a little one.
Is that an angry spirit
That
or my
sounds like
son?
an angry elf
Okay.
calling for you.
So,
Ben's here with his lovely family.
It's a very
I brought
noisy
the
house
wife
considering
and
it's the
kid
middle of
here.
nowhere, isn't it?
okay. So let's go back. The scariest thing that's happened to me. It wasn't. Honestly, it wasn't investigating. It wasn't anything in an event. It was when I was a kid, and I was 8 years old, and I actually saw something, a dark figure sitting in my room.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't really talk about it much because I was angry with my parents, and I probably said something like "I hate you" and everything, and for something stupid. And the room got dark. I watched the room get dark, and this figure appeared. And I would tell you, like, there is a difference between what I believe is demonic and just creepy. This, I felt, was the darkest thing I'd ever experienced in my whole life. Like, you are going to die, right? And you don't want to mess with that stuff. You really don't. But I think it was an experience I had to have to let me know that this stuff exists. You got to be careful, right? But I think if you're living your life correctly and not bringing it on, you know, I don't really think you have anything to worry about. But so I guess that would be my answer.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So let's see. I'm looking at my feed and see if anyone has questions here. Barb says, "Don't let these ladies lead you astray in Melbourne. If you use the term pro, it would be taken as prostitution." Aha! Gag an hour pretending to be ladies.
Don't give the game
Don't
away.
give the game away.
Let's see here. Men in Black stuff. Some people saying hi. Cool. Well,
I'm just having, I just think that's.
So I remember Shane said something. What's the hat? Because a couple of
yeah.
viewers, they've seen the trailer, but the hat.
which hat?
The thing they put on the head.
Oh
so
yeah, so that was KD.
How does that
So
all about and work?
we don't call it the God helmet. He has another name for it. It's his version. I can't remember who initially kind of had this concept. It's intense. I will not put that thing on.
Yeah.
Basically, it's not FDA approved. You have this FDA in the States is the Food and Drug Administration.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay, right.
Okay, so they approve safety things like not just food and drugs, but anything that like would be a device that's supposed to help you. So, anyways, this device pumps out EMF through magnets and stuff like connected like around your head.
Yeah.
And pumps out like I think it was over 100 milligauss. He actually has people sign waivers, okay, before they put this on. And then you use sensory deprivation where he has this sort of visor that has LEDs, a different kind of a light show going on. And then we had Jeremy wear earplugs. So he was completely sense deprived except for what this device was pumping out. And I wouldn't put it on mainly because I didn't think it was going to fry my brain. But I do think that high EMF can cause hallucinations and things that can happen.
Definitely.
And so the experience was people have been using this and trying it with, it's like a legal way to not hurt yourself permanently, like doing drugs. So you put this on, and if EMF has anything to do with the paranormal, it's kind of being pumped into your brain, and you sort of, like Jeremy sort of went into this trance. And I fully believe he had the experience he did. I don't know if that episode has aired yet.
Because I've got them to watch, but actually said, the helmet was awesome. So obviously it has.
Okay, so it has been.
Yeah, it was freaky.
Because I think he briefly explains it in the episode, and I'll have to admit, like, another reason I didn't want to put it on is because I was I was going to be embarrassed if you saw me have a full-on kind of experience, experience or trip, like Jeremy's like pointing out in the park, he's like, I see them coming and this is happening, and he actually was crying. And Jeremy would not do that. He's like a brave, solid fireman. He wouldn't do that on national TV if he wasn't really experiencing, and he really affected and infected him. I'm just a little jet lag still. So that's what that is. And Katie only has, as far as I know, one working prototype. And I said, you know what, after this episode, you might want to make more, but I don't know how you control the safety part of it.
Yeah.
If you got like vegetables walking around after.
Yeah, they're all saying it was fantastic.
One big
Seeing
lawsuit,
it really affected him.
Yeah.
We're talking about cooking your brains as well, Ben. We're not going to that one. Have you ever taken anything home? As in, something follows you home?
So there's a whole part to my son, who's in the next room. He's like, when we were filming this, he was about 9 months old, I think. And we filmed whole segments of the show that actually talked about the impact of him seeing things in the room, back home, and literally just terrified, see something in the corner and like shuddered. And he does have a gift, I think. I think he's a very sensitive child, and so we delved into that a bit. But because the show can only be so minutes long, and you can't just start going off on different tangents, that part was not included in the episode.
All right.
Because we were wondering if what we experienced at the archives building, because we were there for so long, if we were doing something or whatever, that it was coming home with me. So to answer the question, we're not sure, but it's okay now. It seems to have stopped. We actually did. There was a part where I confronted it, and I went down to the basement, and I was really ticked, and I was like kind of yelling at this thing, I got home and we haven't had any problems since.
Oh, that's good. Cool.
All right.
Probably the last one because we do have to go eat.
We're going to go
Have a
eat.
tea.
We just had our crackers here, so we can take one more question.
Yep.
From my feed or from someone else?
So, Rosemary, don't apologise for your
Jesus,
question. That was really interesting. So, Rosemary's apologising for a question, maybe shoot question, but no, you don't have to apologise. That was a good question.
Oh, about her psychic? Oh, that's a harmless question.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, I mean, I could have said that I hate psychics, but that's not true. I just have no gifts.
No,
So-
we don't
Like
like
us.
us. Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right.
No more questions?
Is that it?
All right.
I think it's all up. I think that's.
What does? Oh wait, what is? There was one there. What does it do to your brain?
Oh, that was the helmet.
Oh,
that was the
helmet.
helmet. Young brains look.
Yeah, we don't know. It's untested. You can come and try it out.
Yeah. So we just talked
So you
about
didn't bring
yeah.
it through customs with it?
Yeah, it probably would not pass customs.
Yeah. we'll do.
So, anyways, in summary, for both my friends and for people here in Australia, this is day 2 of what we call the Adelmania tour.
Yeah.
From Adelaide to Tasmania in 2 weeks. So we're going to be here in Adelaide with Haunted Horizons Adelaide for the next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then a week off, and then we're over in Tasmania. So if you're in any of those locations, there's tickets left for this Sunday's talks.
This Sunday talk, yep. We've got
And then-
5 tickets.
I think they're sold out on Saturdays in
Yeah.
Tasmania, and
Yeah.
maybe there's some left in...
There is some left for the Sunday night. Or Sunday afternoon in the evening.
Charmaine,
Yeah.
can you tell us?
Charmaine, you're in the background. You haven't gone for a shower yet, I'm sure. She said she'll go for a shower.
Shepherd's Tone. Have you used that?
Shepherd's what?
Tone.
A shepherd's tone? Or is it saying shepherd's town?
No, Shepherd's Tone. It's come up twice now.
I think I've heard of
think it-
something like that, like a tone generator. But the answer would be no. So anyways, tune in, guys, and if you follow both of, tell them your Facebook where to follow. They're obviously found it through your Facebook. You're on there, so give it a like. Any of my events over at benhansen.com, and you'll see announcements there regarding the show. So if you're not in Australia or anywhere where you come to an event, I'll put out, like the announcements when I can.
And we'll try and do, during the weekend and in Tassie, we'll try and do a few more live feeds, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll try to get some
have a bit
rigged,
of fun
something
and
rigged
see
up.
what we can't get done over there. So.
Yeah. Charmaine says there's a couple of tickets left for the 1st of December event. Kathy's going. So hi, Kathy. Look forward to seeing you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he thinks he's ditching us
We're
after
not,
he
we're
leaves
following.
Adelaide. We've got the tickets. We're just following over.
Yeah, it's good to be back here for everyone. Thank you, Australia, for having me back, and we're looking forward to have a lot of fun. And we'll see y'all later.
Excellent. Well, we're going to go for tea. So you have a lovely
Bye,
evening.
guys. Bye,
Well.
everybody from Ben's site as well.
Yeah. Bye.